Do you know how to love? And if you remember, been on this channel for a while. Earlier this year, we had a Bible study talking about do you know how to love? And based off my perspective, my opinion, love comes down to is being called loyalty and sacrifice. That's basically what love is. Shout out to Chronicles of Judah. And loyalty and sacrifice really embodies the whole components of love. A lot of people think love is this emotional feeling, it's this sensation that overwhelms you, makes you infatuated with a particular person, makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do. And that's not necessarily the case. When you read about love in First Corinthians 13, it tells you that really love is, I think it's composed, or it's, it doesn't, is not easily provoked. So love is not about this emotional sensation that makes you do things that normally you wouldn't do. And this goes into a tangent, but I had someone on social media ask me about what I recommend in regards to their dating, um, their dating choices, like any recommendations or any advice. And I told her I don't really give women I don't know personally dating advice for my own reasons personally, but also because I know that they're going to do what they feel like doing. So I don't really recommend that. But I said, in general, what I have told people that I know personally is that you know who you are. And I don't mean that in some new age type of way. I mean, who are you? What do you believe in? Why do you believe in what you believe? What is the definition of love from your perspective? And what is the definition, say, in the Webster Dictionary? What is the definition of love in the Bible? Do you know how to love based off that definition? And also, if a woman is a virgin, if she's not, I have two different advices that I give to each one. But for a woman who has been dating, had multiple men, I recommend celibacy for a while. It's important that a woman takes that time to herself and to really understand the importance of giving her body to a man. you know but at the same time, I don't recommend that a woman uses sex as a leverage tool to try to trap a man, or try to use this as a bargain tool to get a man to quote unquote marry them. Because when I say marriage is in my definition different than what the world thinks is marriage. I think of marriage in a biblical definition. um, Marriage is basically a committed relationship for life. A lot of people, they think that marriage is a wedding ceremony. So I'm not for that. But I think all that time, when you take that time to yourself, you can get that time to reflect on what's a good man. What's a good man? A man that's aligned with the Most High's commandments. What does that mean? So that means that, does he love his family? Does he respect his parents? Does he treat other people with respect and dignity, regardless of the occupation or their financial status? Does he lie? Does he steal? Does he have a hatred in his heart for his own people? Basic stuff like that is how you recognize someone who's in line with the Most High. Unfortunately, many of our sisters confuse a good man for boring or lame. But if you do meet a good guy like that, then you should be, willing to give him some. I'm just playing, allegedly. But, if he's a real man of the Lord, he's not really going to want you sexually in that way, or intimately in that way, at least not immediately, because he has to feel you out first. He wants to know where your mentality is, before he gets that intimate with you. But we're going to go into this video. I'm going to let the sister talk about it, and then I'm going to chime in.
I almost broke up with my husband because I thought he was boring. Turns out he was just healthy and sane. You see, when I was dating my husband, I realized how joyful he was, how active he was, how motivated, career, goal driven, money saver, never wanted any problems. And every time we became misaligned, he would just want to sit down and talk about it calmly, hear each other out, forgive each other if necessary, and just move on and continue growing. And I misinterpreted this as him not fighting for my love. You see, I grew up in a very chaotic type of love, the novela type, where everybody's slamming doors, yelling at each other. You don't talk to each other for days. And so I thought that that was love. I thought that that was passion. And what I want to remind you of is to look back at the type of love that you grew up around and ask yourself if you were just addicted to a chaotic, dramatic type of love. and realize that that's not the type of love that you need now in your relationship, that you need now to grow. God doesn't want that for you. You understand? Look at that for a second and ask yourself, how do you want to love? How do you want to be loved? Because I'll tell you one thing, it's not the novella type of love.
Shout out to the sister for recognizing the MISS program that she developed as a child. A lot of men and women, they learn how to love from their parents. If they see chaos or they see dysfunction, they see violence in a relationship, they they have a twisted view of love. They kind of see that as normal. They see breaking up, they see fighting, they see the chaos as part of the relationship structure, and they subconsciously bring it into their own relationship as they get older. So, if you come from, if you meet somebody who comes from that background, I'm not saying that you don't deal with them, but at the same time, you have to understand, your significant others. Past experiences is going to bleed into your own personal relationship or your attempts to make a relationship. So you have to be patient with that person if you decide to take them that seriously, and also they have to be willing to change. If they're not willing to change, you can't fix something that's unfixable. You can't turn lead into gold. You're not an alchemist. Allegedly, right? That's what they can do. But you gotta set the parameters on what is a lot tolerable and what is not. And especially in regards to the woman, she has to know what you're willing to accept, because the woman is very much like a child. It's like a child that's trying to push the boundaries on how far they can go. Just like if you ever took care of your, if you got a child or you got nieces or nephews, that when they're toddlers, they want to try to escape the baby cage, or they want to escape the little toy bin, the toy area. They try to climb the fence. You have to set up the boundaries and let them know that no, you can't do this. This is the line that I'm willing to let you go to. If you cross it, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some issues. And same thing in a relationship. You have to mentally set up boundaries where I'm not gonna allow you to tolerate. I'm not gonna tolerate this type of disrespect, or this type of name calling, or this type of going about in regards to how you treat me and how you treat this relationship. And if she doesn't accept that, then she has to go. You have to dissolve the relationship ASAP, because disrespectful people, they get worse. You can't really teach someone how to be respectful. They have to really know how to do that intrinsically. Just the same way with love, they can be reformed to a certain extent, but you have to recognize that they're able to receive the instruction. If people are not willing or unable to receive the instruction, then you got to leave them alone. Just like Christ said, you don't throw your holy items to the dogs. You don't cast your pearls to swine. You know, don't don't try to help someone that doesn't want your help. Project Pat said that a long time ago. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. A lot of women, they don't want to change. They don't want to be saved. They think they're perfect. So let them do what they do. You don't have to argue with them. Just let them go. You know. But you have to, be willing to help the people that want to be helped. And first person you help is yourself. You know. All right. So peace.